let me quickly introduce myself. So my name is Quincy. Okay, it's pretty slow here, the Wi-Fi, but anyway. I'm now working as DevOps security in a security firm called CyberArk. So I'm not going to talk about product today, just give you a brief introduction of myself. So I started my career as a developer. I've been software architect for a few companies. And I also switched my focus like 8 years ago for infrastructure. So I help different organizations to manage their IT infrastructure and development operations. And now I've switched my focus to security. And as a security firm, I talk to compliance guys, auditor guys, or consultants, etc., to ensure everything is compliant, there's no hacking or whatsoever. And my latest focus is the sum of it, all of them. So the depth of security is now my focus. For those who's not very familiar with DevOps, let me give you some context of it. So DevOps is all about velocity. So we want to make things fast. Say for example, if you want to make development, you will definitely use testing tools, right? Do some unit tests, recovery tests. When it's okay, you do the system integration task or whatever system you want to integrate. And probably you will have some nightly build, regular build, maybe weekly build, with different tests, some stables, and the development, well, don't try it out, tag or whatever. So you will enforce a lot of automations in this procedure. You talk to operation teams as a developer, okay, how things are deployed, so that we can automate that. We will do some automation tests. So those unit tests, those SIT will be automated, such that we can, go to our goal to have the velocity to deploy our system in a much faster way, a much faster speed. Like, for business guys, they want to hear terms like time to market, increase this value, things like that. But this is why. And it's all about collaboration, just like what I mentioned. Okay. So DevOps security, or DevSecOps, or DevOpsSec, wherever we want to put it, basically it's all about three teams, right? Developer, operations, and security. The thing is, the reality is, okay, although we are all nice guys, okay, we all work as a team in our organizations. We have different KPI, we have different matrix. So when we have the end result from our boss, okay, we do a performance review, things like that, we have different, parameters to look at. As a developer, we all know we focus on all the functionalities. We want more functions, to be implemented, to be deployed. We want less bugs that will appear. We want more less fixes, like that. So we want a time to market and more updates. However, security is always, a burden, an additional requirement. Imagine you have a simple system like a web portal, talk to the database. It could be very simply written in Python. It may only take you maybe less than a day to do so. But what if a security guy told you that, okay, you need your TLS encryptions to all the connections out there to implement whatever SSL or encryptions that you want to do. The users need to have two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentications. Maybe you need to verify the identity and things like that, the parameters. It makes things very complicated. This is not what we want, not what we want. So security guy is not always our best friend. And if you look at operations, they have different measurements. So they will always want things up and running, okay? No downtime is what they want. They don't really care about those functionalities and things like that. What they want is stability, okay? No hiccups. Users happy, operations guys happy. For security, same. If you employ some, security enforcement to the infrastructure or the system deployment, system will slow down because you do encryptions, you want more protections, you want streaming, the system needs to do more work. Things will slow down, and the performance, kind of operational concern. If things are slow, computer operators, and they don't like it. So certificate guide to operators, not always the best friend either. So what are the parameters or what things the security guys are looking at? Okay, why they have to be the bad guy on, at least not so fancy guy. So there are not a lot of matrix. Okay, one of the common matrix is what we call CIA. Okay, it's not from America. It's basically the term for confidentiality, availability, and integrity. Because we have a short sessions today, so we only focus on one thing, which is confidentiality. Basically, what I focus today is the API key, the password that the system talks to each other. It may be deployed in the DevOps pipelines. So if you want to trigger some testing tools, those testing tools need to reach out to your source, right? You may source your source in GitHub, in GitLab, or Gitbucket, things like that. And those systems need to grab all the source code. They need to talk to it. That means they need to authenticate to it. They need to use a password, with a certificate or API key to log into this. And this is not the nicest thing in the world, because the security team will always look at the news. And the news is not so, the reality is not perfect. I will give you two examples. Okay, so at end of August, in Shanghai, they have a large, hotel chains called Huazhu. Not sure if you heard about it, but they have a lot of hotels. It's more almost 2,000 hotels in mainland China, and they got hacked. And from the news, what is said is the developer, upload the information to GitHub. So people download it, would sell it. It's kind of cool. It's like 5 Bitcoins. Not too bad. Not too bad. Especially when the time of Bitcoin is very expensive at that moment. And another example. Come on. Okay. Uber. Okay. Everyone heard about it. So the latest update is they are defined by the state government for $148 million US dollar. This is a huge number. Okay, so they always got data breach. So even back to 2013, they got data leakage from GitHub. And this is a screenshot that I took last week. Yep, last week. So basically what I did is log into GitHub. I guess everybody heard about it. Do a search. Say for example, I just go to search some keyword like AWS secret key or SSD. If you love Azure, do Azure, or Ali Cloud, or Google Cloud Platform, whatsoever, any kind of database name that you would like. Do a search. You can see about 6,000 commits about those keys. If you click on it, it's quite easy. I can guarantee if you can spend 5 minutes, open 1 or 2 pages of the result, you definitely get a handful of plain text security key in AWS. But please do not try to connect to it. It's a criminal crime. Okay, please do not do that. Okay, but you can do the search. Do not connect to it. Okay, or consult your legal consultant before you go and do it. It's not my fault. Okay, I'm not the one saying it. So this is the reactions like typical security guys looks like. They freak out. They panic because of the news. Imagine if that organization, your organizations got breached, got this kind of cyber attack. Who are the first one to be blamed? This security guy. Okay? They freak out. So what they want to do is they want to deploy extra security requirements to all kinds of your systems. Like, okay, if you got a password, like Huazhu does, like Uber does, please change it frequently. Okay, you need to enforce all kinds of security controls like access control, who can access what, who can't access what, audit log visibility. I want real-time visibility, who is using what resources. I want everything's audit trail, keep it in a secure place, nobody can change it, things like that. And a lot of system integrations. It's not, there's a tons of work to do if you want to do this. And even worse, after the security has been blamed, they try to do the investigations. Usually the first thing they will look at is who got the password, who got the information. Oops. Developers like us got the information. develop things, right? You need to connect to the database, you know, to do the queries. Otherwise, how can we develop? Operation guys got a password too. They need to deploy the production database, okay, the production resources and things like that. They also got a password. So potentially we are all the victims. Okay, we are all the suspects here. Okay, not good. So how can we, you know, simplify things? That's the main thing that in my talk. In Cantonese we call it wear Hammond. Okay, protect yourself, 戴頭盔. Okay, how can we do that? I have some suggestions for you, basically based on two open source solutions from CyberArk. One is called Conjure. It's a security management tools. Another one called Secretless. I'll go into a little details today, if time's allowed. So for my recommendation, it's simple. Two, use security tools for security. Don't try to invent the wheel, don't try to implement yourself. Secondly, do not own any non-personal password. That means apart from your password to log onto your own PC or laptop or desktop or the one to check your email, try not to own any, you know, shared password or administrative passwords and things like that, especially for database or cloud assets. How can we do this? Let's take a look at one by one. First one, okay. Let me share a challenge or when I talk to my customers or peers in DevOps. There are two main challenges, and let's see how we can do this. The first challenge is there are lots of tools in DevOps. When you try to automate things, okay, if you Google, there's a lot of systems in the world for automations. Who's using DevOps here in the room? Please raise your hand. Okay, that's a few, not too bad. Cool. Okay, I'm not going to ask many questions, but say for example, you will have a source control system to source the source. You'll have some automation tools like Jenkins or Ansible and Puppet and Chef, doing all the kind of different automations. And there will be some tools like Maven or different kinds of testing tools like Sonic Crypt, etc. Test those systems source code. Whether your naming convention is correct, whether your you hack up anything which is not supposed to be appear in the source code, and they can trigger all kinds of deployment like packaging library. And I got a simple example as a CI/CD pipeline. It's utilizing all these kind of tools for Docker applications, basically as a container. So even if a small pipeline like this, from a given PC to a testing environment, I've already used like 10 or dozens of systems. Okay. How can you control all this? This is a nightmare. Another thing is, not only the pipeline got all kinds of password or secret. These kind of secrets are everywhere. Okay. So say for example, you want to deploy an application in Python. Okay, you have a nice Python script. You want to build a Docker image as a container and deploy to the cloud, like AWS, like Azure. You need all kinds of passwords. Like I need to connect to the Azure portal and AWS portal using ATSA, etc. And the application itself also owns password for the information, sensitive information. So they're everywhere. Okay, it is very difficult, or I can say nearly impossible, definitely not practical, to implement all kinds of security control all workplaces. So that's why we got. Oops, that's for me. That's great. We got two information that I can share you. One is called Conjure. If you go to conjure.org, this is a secret management tools. That means all kinds of secrets like certificate, API key, using password, etc. that is being used in the application. There are pipelines, things like that. We can centralize it, okay? And these open source tools can provide an API through REST API call, and you can authenticate from the CI/CD pipeline or the applications to retrieve a password or secret from there. Of course, it's got all kinds of enforcement built in, like auditings and things like that. So you don't have to be in the room. So I have a Jenkins script. Okay, this is basically automation script here. So that's two versions. In the web box, you can see I have a hacker password for Jenkins. Okay, Basically, it will retrieve the source code, and it will trigger all kinds of compilations, testing, etc. before it deploys to the environment. And it needs password. So the back example up there, ping test, no good. What we can help is if you use Conjure, we can have some tools. Okay, here we remove all kinds of passwords. So for the password field over there, there's no need of putting. Okay, you can retrieve the password in real time. That means if your security team or security guy want to change the password, if we do it, it won't affect our application. It would not affect our DevOps pipeline. Okay, this is a great deal. And another thing I will share with you is let the security guy manage the security. Okay, because after we deploy Conjure or do the isolations, we basically split the environment into two. The one we focus as a developer, we focus on the feature, the functionalities. For the password or the secret or certificate, let the security guy to do it. So this open source tools Conjure, okay, it can enforce security control. This is a YAML file. I mean, if you go to DevOps security, you will always see this kind of format, and it can allow the sequence of duty, sequence of data, and also allow the security team to manage all kinds of security controls, like what kind of applications can retrieve what kind of password. Okay, who can access what? And it provides a nice UI. And sometimes the security team, not all of them like CLI. Okay, B developers is okay for coding, not words, less graphic. But those auditors, security team, or compliance guys, they don't like that. So it provides a nice UI if you want to address it for them to use. But to me, CLI is okay. So this is my second recommendation. If you dive into the another focus, which I just shared, is do not own any non-personal password. So after you use Conjure, all this kind of shared account or administrative account or application use account will be so centralized in Conjure. So basically, you don't need to know any about it. Okay, what you need to do is a part of it, or where you want to enforce it. So this is a Python script. This is a Python event, right? So how can we do this? Say for example, I got applications needs to reach out to AWS. I need a single key or SS key. Okay, how can you integrate it? It's simple. You can follow 12 factors applications and design patterns. I mean, some of you may have heard about it. It's a design pattern. It's mainly used in containerized applications. So if you have any password or keys, things like that, you just simply retrieve it from the memory, which is the environment variable. Okay, it's very simple, just like that. No fancy code, no other things that you use. And Conjure can inject that kind of secret to the applications, just like your application can know, how to connect or establish the connections wherever resources you want to do. Okay. You need to know the password? No, you don't. You're now in the computer. Okay. You are now in. So I talk a lot about Conjure, things like that. So one of the typical questions that I hear a lot from all the security guys or during compliance check is that, what if there is a bad developer in the room? I know you are all good. Okay. What if there's a bad developer that tries to pin out the password? They would then know the password, right? To know the password from my cloud environment or my database. Maybe I've got some sensitive information like the salary from bosses, things like that. I don't want that to happen. How can you do it? So here comes another open source project that we are developing. It's beta, not kind of official yet, but it's public at this moment, called Secretless. Okay, We don't need secret in the applications. So how things work? The idea is pretty simple. If you got applications, usually when, say for example, you want to establish a database connection, you will need the username password of the database account. Instead of giving you the password or the username of that database account, Conjur will develop a service broker that in terms will generate a database account or connection or connectivity based on the Conjur secrets, that means the username password in the Conjur, it will give the applications a connection. Okay, it will give you a connection instead of a password. You don't need to establish or construct a database password anymore. This guy, the service broker, will give you that. Okay, that means if there's any data breach or cyber attack or whatsoever happened, there's no password in the applications. Everyone in the room cannot and will not get any password. So you are proved to be innocent. Okay, that's how one way, a very good way to secure our applications as well as secure yourself. So currently what we support, we now support SSH connections. Okay, if you want to reach out to some Linux box or Unix box, that's what you need. We also support HTTP authentications. That means if you're using some like REST API for a standard HTTPS connection connectivity, this is something we can provide. And it supports database. Currently, only one database is PGSQL, but I understand there's developers out there, developing more plugins or modules to support other databases like MySQL, things like that. Okay. Ooh, great timing. Okay. Let me wrap up by how to get started. Everything's online. So for Conjur, the secret management tools, you can try it in conjur.org. It will give you an interface like this. Okay, there's a try Conjur here. You can try it online. So if you got a Linux box or you got a Mac or even a Windows, you run a Docker image there. You can download it and execute all kinds of information there. The secretless, you got a web page for it. It's also open source for it. It's on beta, by the way. We're not putting it in the production yet. If you want, let me know. I can help. And I also got my lab. Basically, some kind of tutorials hosted in Calcutta. If you try to use it, it's pretty cool. So log the web page, pick all kinds of tutorial you want, and it will spin up container that you can access all the command lines that you set up. And yeah, that's it for my sections. And here's some contacts from me. If you want to reach out to me after, on these sections, I'll be around. I heard that there's a networking tool out there. And before I end the sessions, any questions? Come on. Questions?
Try it out first.
You need to have a question. Very common. Yep.
How do you compare yourself with the secretless, like the vault with the vault that used in the hash code?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Great questions. So HashiCorp Vault is also focused on secret management, but there's different features, put it this way.
Okay.
Okay. So one is HashiCorp only focus on those application secrets. If you look at the cloud platforms, those Docker platforms, applications, things like that, Conjur can help cover that. And secondly, if you look at HashiCorp, they will talk about moving target. Okay, how you change all kind of password, generate one new one for you if needed, things like that. But it also store very powerful password there. One is still target there. Right. For secretless, that's no target. That's not secret. So, so this is some differentiator of differences.
Okay. Thank you.
Cool. All right. Thank you. So, thank you very much.